30s, we have to have some advice to give. Let's get into all the juicy and dirty gossip. And the rest, well, we'll just figure it out along the way.
Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Structured Chaos. I'm Kyra, and today we're getting into all the thoughts that I have been carrying around all week. Welcome back. Welcome back. It is Memorial Day weekend. I hope everyone got some time to rest and relax and refresh, eat some good food. I know the weather on the East Coast isn't that great, and that can be challenging with that extra day off if you have kids. But if you don't have kids, then I'm glad you got the stormy weather to relax. Our weather over here was a little overcast too for Memorial Day. And I don't know, like for some reason, it just like doesn't feel like Memorial Day weekend. Like I had to keep reminding myself that it was. And I would say that that's partially because I feel like this week was a perfect mix of doing way too much and then like needing to just completely rot afterwards. So I am grateful to have that luxury to be able to just sit and rot. Also, I just like felt compelled to just give myself like a straight blowout this morning. So it's so weird to like see me with straight hair again. So the last we left off, I was getting ready for my friend to come to town, and so last week was a little crazy, which I feel like I keep coming on here and saying that my weeks are crazy, and again in the best way possible. But I recorded, rushed to work last week, worked all day, and had to kind of like finish everything for the episode and things for the week. And then my friend came Tuesday morning. We had the best week together, and he loves plants. That's like his thing. And so if you guys aren't familiar, there is Terabella Nursery. They have one in Point Loma, and then they actually just opened up one in Del Mar right near my work. And it's a coffee shop and a nursery. And so I knew he would love it. And we went there, and I had never been, and I was really excited to see it too. It's massive, like way bigger than I thought. The coffee selections were so good. They had everything, and they had like little bites and stuff. And we just like walked around. We had such a great time. But okay, so there was like two cats that were in the nursery part, and I didn't see them at first. And of course, it's like right in the beginning, and he's like saying hi to them. And I'm like, oh my God. They followed us around the entire time. And he just like kept laughing at me because he would be talking to me, and I would just like be staring off. And he's like, what is your problem? And he's like, oh, the cats. And I'm like, they won't leave us alone. Like, there's more than just us in here, and they like literally since we walked in like won't leave us alone. And he was like, yeah, they like you, they can sense you. So other than that, it was a great experience there. And then it was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful weather all week. And so we went and had breakfast on the beach, and it was like just like so lovely. And then the Dodgers were in town, and so I was able to snag some tickets last minute, and we went to the game. And okay, here's the thing that I will say, like one, like, okay, first it would have been cool if we won. We did not win that game, but it went down to the ninth inning, so that was at least like a fun game to be at. But we sat on the aisle, and typically I don't think I do sit on the aisle. Oh my God, annoying. Because it's like everyone going by you has to like, you got to get up for everyone. So I was fortunate enough to get the tickets, but I will not be sitting aisle again. And then we went and did hookah, and it's so funny because he loves hookah. He has hookah at his house. And I told him, like, since we met, I'm like, I just like don't feel cool when I do hookah because like I don't know how. And if you guys don't know already, like I definitely smoke a lot of weed, so I'm not new to smoking, but with hookah it's like tobacco, and so you don't inhale it the same way you do if like you're smoking weed. And so it's like smoking a cigar, like you don't inhale it all the way. And I just like feel like a loser because I never have like the big clouds of smoke that everyone has. And so he's been trying to work on it with me, but I'm like, oh, I'm like, you just like look so much cooler doing it. Like I don't look as cool. uh and then as I mentioned last week as well, not only was he coming to town, but my close bestie from back home was in town with her family too. And it was so wonderful. And I have not seen Allie in a little over a year. And the last time I saw her, we literally had like 10 hours to spend with each other. And so it was so nice. Her kids are here, her husband's here. And so we went over to Coronado for the day and it was so much fun. I haven't had the opportunity to meet her son yet, and so I got to meet Des, and he was great. And then it was great to see Mo, and we just laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed, and it was so wonderful. And then I feel like it was like right on into the next thing. And speaking of my friend Allie being here, we went to dinner Friday night at this new restaurant in North Park. I think it's called Bakari, but it could be called, that could not be how you pronounce it. Bakari, it could be, but it is in North Park. It's on 30th and it was phenomenal. Okay. So it opened maybe like a month or two ago and I've been hearing a lot of great things about it. And it honestly looks like it's like out of like the French Quarter. Like it doesn't look like it fits in with anything. It was really, really uniquely designed. And, so I have been hearing just like the most phenomenal things about it. And even from my picky eaters have said that it's really good. And so I was really, really looking forward to going. And we get there and they said to, do 2 to 3 dishes a person because they're smaller portions. So we ordered about 9 different things. And I swear to God, guys, like, all 9 of them were phenomenal. Like there was not one that I was like, oh, I wouldn't get that again. Like literally everything. And it was so funny too, because like, every single time when you order something and then you order like a plethora of things and the first few things come out and they're super small and you're like, oh my gosh, like, should we have ordered more? Like we're going to be hungry. Like if this is what it feels like after 3, then like, oh my gosh, like I don't think we got enough. And then of course, like by the end, like we could not even finish everything. And on top of that, they also had a really great dessert menu. And I do feel like sometimes restaurants don't have a great dessert menu. I mean, I love a steakhouse because they'll always have a butter cake, which is like the best dessert known to man. But like typically I feel like restaurants like have like maybe like 2 or 3 choices tops. I think they had 6 and I would have gotten every single one of them. So I love a restaurant that you can continue going back to and trying different things and all of it still be good and never run out of options. I feel like their menu was definitely a decent size. And so there's a ton of different things that I want to try on there. So if you guys can get in or make a reservation for the future because it is so delicious. I feel like San Diego, like we are really getting up there in terms of like respect for restaurants because we have so many great ones, so many like hole in the wall ones, so many like trendy ones. And I feel like we just like keep on getting more and more and more. And I think that has a lot to do with also like LA is really not what it used to be anymore. And so San Diego is kind of becoming like the new LA in certain aspects in terms of like the food scene, which I'm excited for because your girl loves to go out to eat. So let's keep it up. Keep the good restaurants coming. Of course, we are still in NBA playoff time. So yeah, we went to go watch the game the other night, which was fun. And okay, listen, I said before that if the Lakers could beat OKC, like they would win it all. Like basically any team that can beat OKC has a really great shot at winning it all. And so currently the Spurs are playing the Thunder and we have a tied series at 2-2. So that's really something. Like the Spurs are not letting the Thunder just walk all over them like the previous two teams did, one of them being the Lakers, but that's neither here nor there. And then the Knicks are playing the Cavs, and the Knicks are up 3-0, 2-0, 3-0, I think. Yeah, like, and it's so crazy too because the Cavs blew a 22-point lead or 18-point lead in the fourth quarter the other day. But that brings me to my point of who was at the Knicks Cavs game. Travis Kelce was there with Taylor Swift sitting courtside, of course. And I don't know. I mean, I could care less about them overall as a couple, but and I don't know that I guess they've just like really never made sense to me, but I don't care enough to really have an opinion on it. But what I will say is that he seems like embarrassing. Like he's just like doing like too much for the cameras and it's just like very performative and I don't get it. Like he's like chugging it, like, you know, the camera, he knows that the cameras are on him. So he just like starts like chugging a beer. And I don't know, you could like, I couldn't tell if Taylor was like for it and like laughing along with it or if she was annoyed. Like I couldn't really tell. But yeah, like it just seems like it's like too much. Like we don't need you to be on like all the time. Like you could just be watching the basketball game like everyone else. Like you don't have to do all these other things. And so it's like, I don't know, it's like kind of cringe and like gives me the ick. Yeah, so Spurs tied it up yesterday and then the Knicks Cavs played tonight. And if you follow basketball or if you are a Knicks fan or if you just, you know, everyone obviously knows about the New York Knicks, like it is so big that they might be going to the national championship. Like that is crazy. I mean, it is just like a really, 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 really big deal for the Knicks to be doing this well in the Eastern Conference Finals right now. Like it is pretty certain that they're going to make it into the national championship and they have not been in the finals since 1999. So that's wild. Also just read the other day that the World Cup and the finals are both happening in New York at the same time. So like a lot going on in New York. That is for sure. So good luck to anyone traveling there trying to get around because I'm sure that will be fun and not congested at all. And so my friend left and then I worked on Friday, worked on Saturday, and I was really, truly just like counting down the hours on Saturday. I was just like, okay, if you can make it to Sunday, like you just got to make it through 7 p.m. on Saturday at work and then you can just rest for a couple days because in reality, I truthfully have not relaxed since I got back from Dallas. And I have just been constantly on the go again in the best way possible. But like your girl is tired. And so it was so nice yesterday to literally just I got up early because like my body just like naturally like wakes up early and I just like, you know, did a couple things on my phone and then went back to bed for a little while, woke up, you know, a couple hours later, had no guilt that I was sleeping in and I didn't have anything that I needed to get done yesterday, which was so nice to allow myself that. I started watching this show Silo on Apple. Really good. There's 2 seasons. I think the 3rd season is about to come out. So I think I'm going to time it just in time where that works out well. It's like a sci-fi show, which kind of really isn't my thing, but my friend said that he watched it. So it's like, you know, I got to have a show with someone, all that thing. So I started watching it. I actually really do like it. So if you are looking for a show, it's essentially about this world in a silo and you know, you're going to die if you go outside. And sometimes people can request to go outside, but once you ask to go outside, you can't come back in and all these things. So if you are looking for a show, definitely go watch that. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of the episode because we are breaking down the Bravo shows. And I will say we're probably going to be talking about Summer House for the next few weeks because I can't wait another month to recap what's going to be happening in the reunion. So, that being said, we could just jump right into Summer House. It's going to be the same thing that I have been saying over and over to watch this season, knowing everything that's currently happening in real time. You're just in utter shock and disbelief. I'm like watching it with my friend, and like obviously he only knows based on like what I've told him, but he was like watching it this time with me. And of course, like so confused, but he always, his take is always like, yeah, that's like gross behavior. Like, how could you do that? And like that hug at the end of the episode when Sierra and Amanda are just like looking at each other, saying how much they love one another. Like, I can't even, and I still do believe that West and her already had something going on at this point. Even if they didn't, watching that moment and then knowing that as a friend you still went and did what you did, like I just truly cannot wrap my head around it. I can't. You, Amanda, you are a gross person. I think it was in my dream the other night that I dreamt that they're like gonna break up soon. So hopefully the witchy part in me is right about that, and it's gonna be like an embarrassing breakup soon. And also I'm like a little bummed out at myself that I'm dreaming about this at night. So hopefully it was just for like a fortune telling type of situation. I mean, and again, it goes back to, you know, feeling not bad for Kyle to feeling bad for Kyle, and watching everyone talk about this. And I'm glad for Loverboy. Shout out to Loverboy for being so successful right now, and I'm glad that it happened post them legally separating, so she's not entitled to anything that he's bringing in right now. So good. That's what her karma is for now. And then I don't want to, I don't want to talk too much more about it because I feel like it's just like the same thing I've been saying over and over. So I'll wait to share my thoughts after the reunion gets rolling. What I do want to talk about though is Real Housewives of Rhode Island. I said it before, I'll say it again, and hopefully I'll say it for years to come. I love these women. I just love them so much. Alicia is still my top housewife. Okay, so let's break down this fight between Kelsey and Rosie. So in the latest episode, they've had their thing all season and they finally decided, let's let bygones be bygones. Rosie invites Kelsey over to her house and chaos ensues. And it's so funny because I have been having this conversation with my friends all week long, my friends back home, my friends here, to kind of see like where everyone was falling. And it's interesting because my East Coast friends are all taking Rosie's side, and pretty much anyone else in the world is not taking Rosie's side. I thought, okay, so Kelsey comes over, and so one of the things that they have been bickering about is that Rosie is putting this addition onto her home, and she said that her house is going to be 8,000 square feet now. Cool, great, whatever. So Kelsey pulls up with like a loudspeaker and she's like, and a siren, and she's like, suspect says 8,000 square feet, looks like 800. It looks like 800 inches or 8,000 inches or something like that. And I swear, before anything else happened, I instinctively laughed out loud. Like, I thought it was funny. I really did. Like, obviously she's not being serious. Like, it was funny. And Rosie was just put off from the very, very beginning. So my whole thing with that is, you are telling me to my face, like, we're going to let bygones be bygones. We're going to start on a, fresh foot, and we're going to be friends, and we're going to try and do this, to I'm making a joke and you lose your mind. Like that to me is not fair. Like if you really like, because if Kelsey were your friend, you would be laughing about that. So if you're going to pretend that she's your friend, then you can't be offended when she makes, a funny joke. I swear to you, I am not lying. I really, really thought that it was funny. So then, they just keep going, keep going, keep going. And then Rosie starts to raise her voice. And this is where you lose me. I've said it about housewives in the past, and I will always say it about anyone. The moment you raise your voice and start yelling, you've lost it. You've lost the argument, you've lost the fight, because if you cannot compose yourself, sorry, like you lost the upper hand. And I compared it to when Lisa and Bronwyn were arguing back and forth. Like, Lisa, just because you speak louder doesn't mean that you're winning and that your points make more sense than mine. And I personally loved the way that Kelsey handled herself. And so then, of course, Rosie calls her a slam pig, and it's a derogatory term, mostly used on the East Coast, I guess. I thought everyone knew what a slam pig was, but basically, you're essentially calling someone a hoe without calling them a hoe. But like it's like even more derogatory. And we see in this Cummings episode that Kelsey is wearing a sash that says Miss Slam Pig. And so again, I'm always going to choose that because that's exactly how I would act in a situation. Like, oh, okay, you want to come at me? Like, I'm going to wear it proud then, so that it loses its force with me, like, I don't care. You want to call me a slam pig? Call me a slam pig. Like, go for it. Go for it. I just like, I don't know. So can you guys tell me where you fall? Are you on Rosie's team, Rosie, team Kelsey? I think Rosie is jealous of Kelsey. I think that anyone would have wanted Kelsey's life. I think that Kelsey owns every single bit of her life. I don't think that she is ashamed of it. I would kind of be moving the same way Kelsey moves as well. And I think I think it comes down to Rosie is a pick me girl and is very, very jealous of Kelsey's life for sure. And someone's life that I am not jealous of at all is Rula. And so we see this week where Alicia and her husband go over, or her boyfriend, her long-term boyfriend, go over to have dinner with Rula and Brian. And if we weren't uncomfortable before with Brian on the screen, we certainly should be after. They're at dinner. They're sitting at dinner, and Alicia's boyfriend is like, oh, how did you guys meet? And Brian goes, ha, want to hear this? Let's listen to how we met. And he's saying how they met at a bar, and that all night long he was buying her drinks and he was making sure that hers were doubles and his were singles, but he wasn't telling her that hers were doubles. So she ended up getting really, really drunk and like, look how good it's worked out. And I literally stopped and like sent a voice note to my friends back home. And I was like, is he being so for real right now? Like, he's bragging about essentially like drugging her. Like, that's your flex. That's your flex is, oh, I bagged her by giving her doubles when she thought they were singles. Like, oh, okay. It's like a weird thing to be proud of, but okay. And then he just like, he gets a phone call at the or no, he says he has to go to the bathroom, comes back from the bathroom, says he got a phone call from work, but he handled it. And we're like, okay, well, no one asked. And I thought you were going to the bathroom. So like, and like, who's calling a podiatrist late at night? Like what big foot emergency is going on at night? So clearly he's just like sketchy on sketchy on sketchy. And I don't understand why Rula is with him. Like, you look like a fool. I understand if it is cultural, I get it, but like your culture will understand versus you looking like a fool. Like, please stop. Do better, Rula. Do better. Don't be with this man. I hope that they end in divorce, but I mean, she's been on Watch What Happens Live since the season has started with him, and they said that they're in a great place and they're working on it, but okay, God bless to them. I guess different strokes for different folks, but I do want better for you, Rula. And then, just my girly girl, Alicia, when Billy's teaching her how to drive, and they go to get in the car, and she goes, Billy, come over here. Look there's a 4-leaf clover. I need you to see the 4-leaf clover. And she goes, I never seen one of these before, Billy. And he's like, it's a weed. Like, it's a weed. And she goes, don't say that, Billy. It's a 4-leaf clover. Make a wish. Like, I just love her. I love her. Protect her at all costs. We see Joellen have a very intense, real conversation with her, between her mom and her sister and herself. And yeah, I mean, it seems like her mom kind of just shipped her off, like gave up on her, didn't know how to parent maybe at the time, and like sent her away to behavioral camp. And I really felt for Joellen because obviously it has deeply affected her life as it would anyone. It did seem like they came to a resolution, or there was some type of accountability and understanding at the end. In the beginning, her mom was definitely very standoffish and like was not taking accountability. And I have too been in the situation where you go and express yourself to a parent and, let them know that these actions do still stick with you and this is how they made you feel. And like the immediate response is, oh, well, you think it was easy for me? And it's like, well, no, but I'm the kid, you're the parent. So there's some type of level system there, so I definitely did feel for her, and I could relate to her to a certain degree, and it just makes me really appreciate who she is as a person even more, because you can understand how she could be a little cold-hearted or standoffish sometimes, Speaking of standoffish, let's talk about the Valley. So I also keep forgetting to recap the Valley. And so this will be the first time I think all season. Okay, here's the thing. Last season, it was focused around Danny's drinking and how he becomes inappropriate when he's drinking. And Janet said some things and some phrases and accused him and labeled him things that I do not feel are right or her place to, because she had not had these experiences with him. That being said, we are seeing this side of Danny that is not flattering. That is not flattering at all. It does not make Janet justified in what she said last year. So I do want to say that I still don't like her. She's still too much, and she still did not have the right to say what she said. However, we are seeing certain behaviors that are not great. And God bless Nia, because she seems to handle her husband a lot better than I would. Now, I don't know if that's because, there's a camera right there and microphones, and behind closed doors, she really gives it to him. I hope, because he deserves it. But like, it started 2 episodes ago when they're in San Diego and also staying at a horrible Airbnb, like out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know why they put them in the Airbnb. I looked it up. I guess it's in El Cajon. Like, it's so far away from everything. And like, if we want to talk about like sprawling homes to rent, like San Diego has a ton to offer. So why they're in that, don't know. But anyway, it starts off with him being upset that she's like just like trying to have some fun and like be with the girls or like do something. And he's like, I don't know how to swaddle the baby. And it's like, my guy, you not forced, because obviously you cannot force someone to get pregnant, but like, you forced this 4 under 4 kid scenario to her. This woman has been pregnant for the last 5 years of her life, and you don't know how to swaddle. You don't know how to swaddle a baby. You have 4 kids. You don't know how to swaddle a baby. And like, you're her husband. Like, give her some time off. Like, yes, you guys have a babysitter / nanny there, but she's still breastfeeding. So she still has to like be in it. And like, sometimes she just needs your help. So like, just be a better partner. And then they go and do this like drag contest, and he is so rude and so mean to Nia. And I respect Lala for stepping in. I do understand that like in people's marriages, relationships, things like that, like their life is not your life. And so that's a very, sticky situation to tiptoe around. But I thought that she presented herself well and respectfully and kept saying, I apologize, but I just have to speak up because I'm right here and it's making me uncomfortable and it's triggering me for my things that I have experienced. And I don't like the way that you speak to your wife. And I can't imagine how you speak to your wife behind closed doors if this is what you're doing right now, which she's not wrong because we were all thinking it. And and then, of course, and then it's like Danny's like just like egging her on being passive aggressive. And he's like, oh, mistriggered. And it's like, why don't you be a man and say, I am so sorry. And you're right. I should not speak to her. We're that way. We're just supposed to be having fun. It isn't that serious, but it's like he gets into this like character that he can't snap out of. It's so bizarre to me. And so, yeah, Danny, I do think that maybe you do have a hard relationship with alcohol that needs to be adjusted for sure. Please, moms, don't come for me for this next part. I am not a mom. I have not experienced childbirth. I have not experienced postpartum. I absolutely understand and believe that it affects everyone differently. I have seen it around me. I've experienced it through other people. Kristen, you're not the first woman on this planet to have had a baby. Okay? And I feel like your partner is really trying to be there for you and is really trying to be supportive and all of the things that one can do. And I think that two things can be true at once. You cannot feel good about yourself, but you can also recognize that your partner is not pointing that out or is just trying to help you learn to love yourself again. And I think that Luke feels like he's on an island. And I would imagine that as a man, it is hard in that specific instance because you're not a woman. You're not full of hormones. You didn't give birth. You didn't carry the baby. You don't know what this feels like at all. And so he is trying his best. That's what it comes off of. That's what it comes off as a viewer. I hope that, Kristen can learn to talk to someone and start maybe feeling better about being a mom and feeling like herself again. Again, I'm not trying to say that what she's going through isn't real because I do believe that it is real, but I think that sometimes she might intensify it a little bit more in her head. And she does have the support of so many new moms around her and just moms in general. That are trying to help her get through it. And I know because I haven't experienced it, easier said than done, but I truly hope that they can figure out a way to be happy together because I do love them and I don't want this to get in the way, Jesse and his girlfriend are just so weird. I don't even think she likes him. Like, I don't know. And then this is my theory. I think what really bothers Michelle about the two of them together is that in Michelle and Jesse's marriage, Jesse was the alpha. Jesse didn't ever want to listen to what Michelle had to say. He wanted to kind of boss her around and like not listen to or respect like what she was saying. And with Lacey certainly wears the pants in the relationship, and Jesse for sure bows down to her and like really listens to what her suggestions are about how he improves his, behavior and things like that. And I think that that's the point of contention for Michelle because Michelle was put in a corner and all she wanted to do was be equals with Jesse. And now she's watching this woman be the powerhouse that she always, not that she wanted to wear the pants, but she wanted to be side by side with him. And Jesse didn't allow that space to exist. And now in this one, it's like, she's the leader. And so that's like my take of why I think that she doesn't like her. I'm sure, obviously we know some other things that happened in the beginning of their relationship, but, I do think that that's really what it comes down to. And yeah, like I said, I just don't think that Lacey likes Jesse. I think she just likes bossing someone around and he's the guy that's going to allow it. So I think that that's that for sure, in my opinion. Southern Hospitality. Oh, I don't think we have ever in Bravo experienced someone going through substance abuse. I can't recall. Oh, I guess Kim Richards, of course. Yes. But I don't think it's been anyone who's like younger that we've watched go through it. And so to see Grace Lilly, be going through her challenging time, it seems like she's addicted to ketamine, perhaps other prescription drugs, is eye-opening for sure. And, Maddie is someone who, she is sober now. She used to be an addict, and so of course, like she said, she can understand all the signs, see all the signs, and at some point she does have to distance herself from that relationship because she can't be there for her until she wants to be there. So I do feel for Grace and for Maddie, because Maddie's watching someone that she cares about deeply go through something that she's been through and knows the road ahead. So I do feel for both of them. Someone who I wish would get help is Emmy, because that girl still doesn't know how to take accountability for anything of any type. And when she is ever at the table when they're in Mexico, like having her like panic attack, nervous breakdown, like I'm Mia. I am 100% Mia, looking at her like, what are you doing? And then like trying to stop laughing and like have to remove myself from the scenario because I would be laughing in your face too. And as much as I don't like you, like that's still rude to like laugh in someone's face is having a panic attack, even though the panic attack is dumb and that's just you being held accountable for something and not being able to face the facts or truth on literally anything. And so you just like start faking a panic attack every time. It's so weird. Like, just say I'm sorry. And then like she says I'm sorry and then goes and talks shit behind your back again and like null and voids saying sorry. And then she's like, oh well, I just said that to get over it so that they would move on. And then it's like then she'll be 10 minutes later being like, well, I don't understand why everyone's being so mean to me and why they like don't want to be my friend. Like I miss their friendship. It's like, girl, because you're not genuine or serious about anything. And like, again, what you said actually affects a person. I did recently see that I don't know if she is cut, if Leva has cut ties with Emmy completely about working at Republic, but like obviously the backlash of her making these racial infused comments has consequences. And so I think, yeah, that Leva has let her go, or I don't know. And I don't know what that's going to look like for filming next year. But good, because she sucks and she doesn't deserve to be on a show. So that's how I feel about that. Yeah, and then Beverly Hills ended. Oh, the city just started. So we got our end of Summer House finale it rolled right on into the new show, The City. Obviously there has only been one episode, so don't have much to go off of, but I don't know any of the new people's names. I don't think that I'm gonna like some of them. I think they're gonna be problematic, obviously. Interested to see the Danielle Lindsay dynamic. Why is Danielle back on our screens? We didn't ask for it. We didn't want it. We don't need it. But I'm here for it because in real time, she has now announced that she is pregnant. We're finding out on the show. She like just started dating this guy and he's married or separated or whatever, and now you guys are pregnant. So that timeline is interesting if you ask me. Can't wait to see that unfold. But yes, it does look good, and I like these shows because it goes like I can relate to it. You know what I mean? Like I'm 38, all of these people are 38 and above. So it's nice to have grown up with them in Summer House, and then like now let's see how they transition into seeing their lives in the city. So I am excited to see their day-to-days. Looking forward to it. We have Next Gen NYC coming up soon. I think we have Real Housewives of Orange County is starting. I'm trying to think if there's any other shows coming up I don't think so. So, as I mentioned before, I will definitely still be up to date or like talking and debriefing the Summer House reunion breakdown. Um but that was our little like Bravo and Life catch up for this week. I am very grateful for at least the next 2 weeks. I don't have anything crazy happening. And then, summer is officially here. So we're just rolling on into summer activities. I am blessed to have a busy life, but I'm also exhausted having this busy life. So, yes, that is all I have for you guys this week. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. All of the information can be found in the description below. Make sure that you're subscribed. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm Kyra, and this is your reminder that having it mostly together still counts. See you next week. Bye.